Welcome to the Noble Gold Investments Inflation Series. Now let's discuss something that might require some more concentration to understand. We often say that inflation rate is manipulated. Let's understand how it has changed. As we originally indicated, the CPI was determined by comparing the price of a fixed basket of goods and services spanning two different periods. Over time, the U.S. Congress said the CPI should aim to compute a specific standard of living instead of goods itself. This means the goods in the basket aren't consistent anymore. Instead, they have a standard of living and determine what is required to maintain that standard of living. Put them in a basket, and they compute the difference in price. This was done allegedly to remove biases that cause the CPI to overstate the inflation rate. The new methodology takes into account changes in the quality of goods and some substitutions. Substitution, the change in purchases by consumers in response to price changes the relative weight of the goods in the basket. More concretely, they could replace white bread with wheat bread, for instance. Instead of computing the difference in Kaiser's Gold tier for their health insurance, they could change it to LA Care's Platinum because Kaiser no longer represents the same services and needs in the market. Now, I'm oversimplifying it, but that's the general idea. The overall result tends to be a lower CPI, magic. Critics view the methodology changes as a purposeful manipulation that allows the U.S. government to report a lower CPI. Many economists and experts prefers a CPI or inflation measure calculated using the original methodology based on a basket of goods having quantities and qualities fixed. David Ranson, a U.S. economist, believes the CPI is a lagging indicator of inflation because it's not a good indicator of current inflation. Others prefer to measure the change in the price of commodities. They feel that inflation initially affects commodity prices, and it may take several years for this commodity inflation to work its way through the economy and to be reflected in the CPI. Ranson bases an inflation measure on a commodity basket of precious metals. Now, how does this affect you, your investments, your future, your family, and your retirement? Let's watch